Okay, so we got a consignment parts. There's two new gators. Said I'd replace them. Mine aren't too bad. Front wheel bearings. They're also the same as the back, but hope to delve in. Got them from Classic Bike Shop and ordered them Monday, and within a few hours, I think 2 or 3 hours, they were actually packed and shipped. Got the email to say that they were on the way. I was very happy with that. So this is actually some stuff for the gearbox casing, I think. Oil seal holder. Unless that's actually not, that's for front wheel. That's those two O-rings, that O-ring and that seal are actually for the gearbox casing. And then we have some bios in here as well. I think I ordered 2 gearbox seals just to be sure, and there's a small O-ring there as well, again for the what you call it, gearbox. These are all front wheel. I'm just thinking there should be another one of them. There should be another one of them. Now if not, it's okay, because I probably just forgot to hit quantity 2. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they are for that there. No, they're smaller. We know. Maybe that's for the front wheel. Don't really know. That's a bushing for the gear selector lever. Thought I ordered them. It's a tool for the castellated nuts. Should be anyway, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, castellated nut tool. So that's going to work on that for us. Okay, so they're the 2 lads there. Yeah, I mustn't have ordered them. That's something else, a truss washer from the front wheel, I think. So look, we'll throw them back, and that's a circlip. Some O-rings there for the seal holders as well. So I think we put these on top of the spring abutment, I think. Is that right? Seems to be, yeah. I think. So I ordered a few of them, I ordered 4 of them. So we'll leave out 2. Leave anything back in there that we don't need just yet. We've got some gaskets in here as well. Timing case, primary chain and gearbox gasket. So that is all good on the hood. Don't think we need any of that just yet. So we'll put it back in. We don't need that, that's all. And we don't need that, it's again front wheel only. What we do need, I bought these as well, you don't really need them, but I just said, look, may as well. So now we can go and take out, remember one of these didn't want to come out because the O-ring is in there, so we'll just make sure that these O-rings are the right ones. I have heard people say that they're not 100% correct. Fitment. Now that to me just looks a little bit big, considering how small it is in there. I don't know how important that O-ring is. Now I'm sure I probably have something better myself. I'm just trying to figure out if it's very worn. I would like to replace it. It's there for a reason, and it's hard. But we'll take it out anyway and see what it looks like. Worst case scenario, I should have other ones there. I've a good few sets of O-rings. So. I Jesus, it is hard. It's definitely not going to do its job if it's that hard. Yeah, different hit. This one isn't sharp enough. should be able to, I am stuck now, take it out, should be able to get another one. I obviously hate damaging them, but it's very hard not to damage them. Let's try and just get it out a bit. And it's broken anyway. Okay. No, it looks similar, yeah. Okay, so this comes out now, so let's just go and measure that up. Seems to be about the same. So let's have a quick look here at T100C. That's new, and that's old. So we'll throw in the new one, we may as well. Okay, so that's let's see how it works. It might oblige us. It's been living all its life for this moment now to be put to use, so hopefully it's happy in its new home now. Oh yeah, so that is it. That is all. That's perfect, I'm happy with that. Yeah. I'd even be happier if I had the washer in below it. But it's okay, it's in there now. Happy days. So that's down the wall done, isn't it? Okay. I'm still happy that is clean. In fairness, it is bloody spotless. Couldn't be happier with that. Left hand side marked here. Okay. So I think what we'll try and do now is put our cleanest dirty rag out and just have a quick go at trying at least to build these up a little bit. Okay, so just give it a quick, obviously don't want to go damaging it because the seal won't seal on it, so we need a lower bushing. Okay, suppose there's no harm in putting a bit of oil on that first rather than grease. Our castellated nut. Our spanner is for this. And that is a gift. Well worth a few pound of cost. Okay, and it also has the wrench for the top caps as well. Okay, that's probably enough. That ain't going anywhere. Don't think, am I right in saying those bushes should move? I'm not 100% sure. Let's go and get the old ones there now and see. So they should move. That's okay. And our, whatchamacallit, our rubber hoses have kept that nice and clean. I suppose I probably should clean this up a little bit. I'm sitting up, it's kind of oil in the pack that I'm sitting in, and probably just a little bit sticky. And I prefer it to be clean for the seal. The WD-40. Oh yeah, that's good. Lovely stuff. Okay, that's very solid. Give another tap there off camera as well. A bit more of a nip. I think the seal's only going to be rubbing around there anyway. Okay. I think that goes down into the leg. Just want to make sure that none of that is wider than the bushing. No, it's not. That wouldn't be good. Okay. We need a top. Hopefully do this right now. The top bushing then. Right, you seeing all of this? Oh yeah, now we're talking. Oh yeah, that feels fantastic. A bit down here as well. Yeah, all that. It's very thick mineral oil, so it looks dark. Okay. Then we have our seal holder, truss washer, new O-ring, and we obviously put our ring, O-ring on that. Plenty of oil, actually plenty of oil around the O-ring as well. That's going to be kind of wiping it, I imagine, wiping the staunch and clean. Wow. Make sure that we're getting on the right threads. Right, when we tighten it up fully, we'll get that. You can just hear that. When you push it down, you hear that it stops rattling. It's pushing the little valve in the bottom. Okay. Let's give this all a bit more of a clean here as well. It's only kind of oil stains. This is going to get packed with grease. I mean, when I say packed, rubber grease. I got 2 tins. It's going to get packed with that. And then this, I actually mustn't have ordered it for some reason. It's perfect. So all it's going to be doing is pushing down on top of the seal. That's all. So we'll just give it a quick rub here on our sanding board. Clean it up a bit. Okay. It's a little bit rough, but I don't think it's going to make it. I don't go taking too much off it. Our spring is going to go down on top of that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with that. But I'm going to clean it up more. That said, I think I'll clean that. But what I am going to do first is I'm going to pack the hell out of that with grease, then throw that down on top. Let the spring go down on top of that then again. But we're starting to look a bit more together. Cleaned, we brought, taken out some of the dents that were in that spring abutment. That's going to get greased. So yeah, starting to look a lot more complete. Okay, let's get this thing packed with this lovely red rubber grease. I was thinking, should I take off the seal holder again? It'd be easier. It probably would be easier. Says he with his hands covered in grease. I think it'll probably be easier to pack this first. Probably be a lot more messy putting it together, but I just wouldn't mind getting some of that grease down to the seal. Yeah. Yeah. So rub a bit in around that. God, it's messy. But it's what's going to stop it from rusting. I know it's going to look very, 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 you can't even see what I'm doing. Very messy, but look, I bought 2 tins of this so that I will not have to do this job again. This is only metal, it's not chromed, this stanchion, so it gets rusty because lack of grease. It's going to rust. The steel's not going to seal. So completely and utterly pack the bastard thing. That's all I'm going to do. Hopefully this is a job for the rest of the life of the bike. This is the cheapest form of maintenance. So yeah, it looks like a murder weapon there at the moment, but Very messy, but I'd say chance of that rusting now is fairly low. So just going to actually put that in the vise. Probably should have done the greasing afterwards, but I wanted to get that off to give it a good greasing around the seal, because it is rubber grease. So we'll put it in the vise, use our tool then to tighten that up. Right, so we're in. Now we've got to tighten this baby, so this way here, and put a rubber this side. Hagen, I think that's tightening it. Hagen shock tool, shock adjuster. A little bit of modification. I think that's going to do it. Haven't made shit of the tool, which is always good. Now that is starting to lift it up a little bit in the vise now. Let it sit down there maybe. It's fairly tall. The chances of me being able to hold this and try and push it into that headstock with all that grease on it is probably fairly low, but I feel I'm going to have to go making a pull tool to pull this into place, because we'll be pushing again the spring. Grease is going to be our only way of stopping this getting rusty. It's as simple as that, and I look at it as very easy to get a rag and rub grease away. It's not so easy in stripping things down this far to be able to re-grease. And yes, you can just pull the gaiters down a bit, but it still doesn't beat packing him with grease. Does not beat him. Make sure there's no dirt on that. You give it a good wash. It feels good. Now this could be fun trying to get this down, considering I forgot. This could end up pushing a lot of grease up. But at the same time, you might use the spring to keep pushing that down. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thing of beauty. I don't know how much grease people put on these, because I've only seen a very small amount of YouTube videos on this, and I don't remember really seeing this part of the rebuild. In other words, are they slobbing it on like I am, or but I just know I'm not going to spare it. Right. Okay, so new gaiter clips. I don't know if that should be, probably prefers to be dry there for the gaiter to grip. Don't know. I think I'm doing everything right. O-ring, truss washer, seal, bigger truss washer, spring. So now the gaiter hopefully goes down over this easy enough. Maybe the clip isn't helping. Bit of a lip there on top of the seal holder has to go over. The later ones were a little bit different there as far as the lip goes. Yeah, plenty of grease, boy. It is the time to do it. This rag is going to be absolutely useless for anything else. There's that much grease on it. Anyway, that's what it's for. Back up a little bit. It should just stop when it comes off. So I'm just going to figure out roughly where that point is. Okay. It's hard to work that clip at the moment with the amount of grease that's on it. But it will just be a matter of maybe gripping it with something like this maybe. Okay, still very, very slippy. But we can return to that and see is there a better way. It's probably, I'd say there's most likely some form of a tool for that. Really want some form of a circlip pliers of some kind. If they'll work. It's not the greatest shape for it now, it's just a little bit off. These are bloody strong springs compared to the ones that are on it, I can tell you. A little bit on there anyway. My God, that is some seriously strong thing. Goes to show how worn how weak the other ones were. Okay. No, we can come back to that. That's not very important just yet. Okay, I think I'm after finding out the knack. So I pulled the whole lot down to where it was narrower, and now I can lift it up. It'll just find its place just there. I think that's it. So just a knack, just a knack. Okay, so I'll bring the camera back because it is very high up there in the vise. Watch your look. I presume that goes in there. So plenty of grease. Just refused about half a tin already. That's what it's for. And I sit the other clip on top of the gaiter because it's not going to go fitting in there, I don't think yet, because it'll have to stretch. It's the old ones. Yeah. There's a lot more meat on the old ones. think there is a top or a bottom on them, is there? I'll find the other one there, able to say. No, they seem to be the same. I don't fit this on now. It ends up being a little bit difficult to fit. So now, as much as it looks like something from a horror movie, I think that should be it, apart from there's this lad here I think goes on there. Yet more grease. I think that is it. Will we call it one rebuilt fork? I don't see anything left. Brilliant. So what I'll do is I'll go and build the other one to the same spec and we'll come back. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go through assembling the other one. We're going to be that little bit quicker now because I have one done. Now, for the eagle-eyed among you, you will have probably realised I forgot to fit this on the other one, so I just stripped it down and fitted it back on there now. So we won't forget that this time. So the slightly thick lip, I believe, is at the bottom. On with the bushing. And then this is all washed in the parts washer, it should be good to go. I just want to make sure that any burrs on that aren't sticking out further than the bushing. They're not sticking out further than it. So, I have two new Ferguson 20 top radiator hose pipes. So this was a little trick my dad said to do. So we'll move over to the device and we'll put it in. Okay, the dirty old grease there. Okay, so that's about right. Try and grip it down close. Don't need to have the rag there, of course, but still, no harm. Right, and we get our tool then. We got from British classic bike spares in England. Very, very heavy metal. It's a great quality tool, and it's a direct sort of a replica of the Triumph tool. Okay, so I'll give it a little spin now and use two others. I want to make sure that there's nothing that's sticking up a slight bit there. So I don't know, is it sticking up enough to cause any issue, but now is the time to do it. Okay, that's good. We'll give it a bit of a spin around, make sure that nothing is sticking up too high. I'd say that's probably tight enough. Just make sure that nothing is sticking up too much. Yeah, that's okay. Don't want it scratching. Scratching the bottom leg tube. Okay. This last part here, now is the time to do this. Let's make sure. Yeah, that's all in. That's all in. Definitely not going to go scratching at it. It's good and tight. Just gave the tube, the stanchion itself, a bit of a clean down with WD-40. It's always a good idea because just from sitting up, they are kind of lightly coated in oil, but this is going to be where the seal's going to be running, so I want to have it shiny. That was the time to do it. Okay, so that's good. Right, so I think that is all for the bottom. Now, I've seen some people put oil on these, and I've seen others putting grease on them. Now, oil's not going to go lasting very long, but when the whatchamacallit is filled, I actually bought some today, fork oil. So when that is filled, I'd imagine it's going to go making its way up anyway. So what I might do is just put some very, very thick oil here. So I'm just going to give it a quick coating there first. And it's 50-20 or something like that. 20-50. It's a heavy oil anyway. Just rather than putting that in dry. Now I presume when I lift this up, that little sleeve, the black sleeve, is going to probably come up a bit. It'll eventually, I'm sure, find where it wants to be. It'll find its own level. So we'll just grip it lightly there in the vise. Move everything back so we can get a look what's going on. Okay, so we need a top. The top bushing, the oil, pour it all around. All our threads are cleaned up with the Dremel. Now, I don't know if there are some people prefer to slide the seal holder on over that first. Maybe that is a thing to do. We have to pull out that old O-ring, fit the new one. Now that we've worked out that the new O-ring, as supplied by Classic Bike Parts, is a runner. It fits. So we just get our pick. Let's give it a pick out. The other one, the one on the other one was very, very, very dry, and it just broke as soon as we got it out. So these are so cheap, even mad not to replace them. This one seems to be fairly bloody dry as well. It's not supple at all. It's not allowing it in behind it. So I'll play around with that and get it out, because it's probably hard for you to see what I'm doing, but you have an idea. It's just basically picking that lad out. And it's just a matter of getting in behind him. And like the other one, it's just after breaking off there. Let's make sure there's none left of it in there. So I'm just going to give that a blow out with the air gun. I'll come back. Okay, here's our new one. It does look too big when you get it, but it fitted in the last one perfect, so we'll get it to fit in here as well. Before I do that, our new washer. Yeah, I will get used to this, putting everything in the order. I don't want, it's good, it's just as well I remember that, because I wouldn't want to be going pulling this out with a pick for fear of damage. As much as it's probably not the single most important part in the puzzle, when we're completely rebuilding everything else, as much new parts as possible. You know, I don't want to be damaging things. So this bike is back together now. It should feel a little bit more. What was it Esso said? Put a tiger in your tank. I think I actually have it on a sign over here. Put a tiger in your tank. So I'm hoping this is going to put a bit of tiger in me tiger. When we get all of this, and it'll be hugging the bends and all of that. So that is a thing of beauty. Our seal is in. Run the finger around. It's perfectly seated home and all of that. These are the two other washers there. They're basically as good as new. But look, didn't want to take a chance when I was ordering parts. As I did forget to, or I think I forgot, I must have, to order these. So these just go in on top of the seal, and it just stops the spring hitting again the seal. It'll hit on this. Let's give them a bit of a clean. That's all. Bit, just quick. It's not going to be important. Don't have to be too fussed. Don't have to be too fussed. Fine bits of metal, very strong. Okay, so what did we do last time? We went about things a little bit different, I think, as in I think I put that in with the spring. Let the spring seat it. It's not really going to go make much of a difference. Yes, so for greasing, the seal is obviously going to go pushing any grease that's in front of it along. So I am going to put a bit here. Well, there's more than a bit. I just don't think this is going to go do any harm. At all. There was basically no grease on the stanchions that were in it, and that's why they were leaking, I'd say. If they were leaking, why are they leaking? I don't know. Maybe, strange enough, unless they were them leak-proof seals that were put in, I don't know. One of the stanchions was very bad, as in pitted. So I don't know how any seal was going to go sealing it, but I don't remember seeing oil around it. Okay, so we're all good. I'm looking here to see what parts are left over, because if I did that last time, I would have realised that little damper sleeve was left over. And what I'm hoping here, well, there's two ways of doing it. Some people actually push the bushings straight down. I just want to feel it going over that and going over the O-ring like that. And then our little truss washer in there, the kind of stainless steel one, that's just going to push that bushing down till it seats on the top there. It's a top hat bushing. I think that's what they're called. I'm going to call it a top hat bushing anyway. So I think that is probably that. Our Hagen shock tool here, Hagen shock adjustment tool, or strip of rubber. Let's go a bit more there just to get a bit of it. So to get the right angle on this. Nice strip of hard rubber. That's actually a Ferguson 20 fuel tank rubber, I think. And get a bit more of a grip on it here in the vise. I think that's enough. We haven't damaged it. That's good, because I might want that again. I'd love to know if these are original or not. I don't know. They're mighty Nick. Okay, so I think that is all. We have our lad here. I suppose what we're better off doing now is bringing the camera back, because I'm going to have to sit this up in the vise and move it over here a little bit. I'm going to pack this with grease. Try and see if I can let it sit down a little bit. I just don't want to go squeezing out and damaging out there. That's all. It is only a tube at the end of the day. Right, so we need a spring, and we need, I'm going to call it a truss washer really. Usually truss washers with a bearing, but that kind of a thing anyway. So I think I have a big spoon there. I'm going to actually spoon it out. Okay, so I'm going to try and use gloves, try and be sensible and use gloves. I'm going to pack the living hell out of this with grease, because it's the cheapest form of maintenance. Simple as. I don't want to be wondering after I've done the job, or doubting I put in enough grease. I'm going to use this then to push everything down. A bit of grease rubbed into that as well to stop it rusting. God, it's great, it's good grease. Our spring button is in good nick. One thing that matters if there's a top, there's no such thing as top or bottom on this spring. Just going to work that down. That should push down our grease. There we go. That's what we want. A bit more grease there now, in around there. Am I doing everything okay so far? I think I have to put on the gaiter now. I'm just looking. So you'd be surprised the surface rust that builds up on this staunch in a very short amount of time. So I want to be looking at grease everywhere. Okay, so a gaiter, should be a new gaiter knocking about. There's two old ones there, new one to be inside here. I've got two clips. We'll work on one here first. I think I learned a little bit about how this goes on the last day. How it seems to like to go on. Okay, we'll pull it up, push it up a good bit so we have plenty of meat below it. Okay. The clip going to allow it over it. Okay. Let's clip, yes, strong clip. Down. Get the gaiter down. Right down to where it's narrow, and then try and put it on again. I think I've worked out this the last time that seems to be the best way of going about it. Sure, the people that are doing this all the time would know better than I would. It's a very, very, very strong clip compared to the ones that are on it. I know the ones that are on it are probably well worn at this stage of the game, as in lost their tension. And I'm sure there's some kind of tool for pinching these. This clip nearly seems stronger than the first one. This circlips thing isn't not great for it. But look, we'll try get it onto the rubber there. Okay. There we are. Now if we push upwards, try and keep this, just push the spring, it should push everything up to where it wants to go. And then we should be able to manhandle the spring down, but I'm not actually going to do that until we get everything on the bike, because I think it's safer up there. Then it's going to be down close to the bottom. But then we have our spring abutment that's greased up. But I think before we put that on, we probably have to put on our other spring. Now it could be a whole handling trying to get this onto the spring abutment when it's on the bike, but look, when we're at that stage, it's the last job that we will do and we'll have to do. So there we go, spring abutment is happy. Right, I might throw one glove back on. Well, I actually don't really have to, because I'll be able to pull this down and re-grease there as I after I've fitted it. So am I right in saying, well, there's just one more part to go on this, actually I see that's left over there, and that is this, and to hold that in place, a bit of grease, and we'll keep a bit of grease on things. Those cork washers, especially when they're used as gaskets, petrol at least, when you take them out, they literally shrink into nothing. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know, this probably isn't going to shrink because it's not soaked in petrol, but I'm just going to keep it greased. That way we can be sure that it'll stay supple. It's when they go dry that they get brittle. I think I have one up here from the Ferguson that I'm working on, and you can see very clearly that it has completely and utterly shrunk. I'll find it and I'll show you it at some point. But that's petrol that does that. Okay. Okay, so I think that is fair to say we've got two rebuilt forks. There's nothing else there left. I have all the old bits there. Just want to keep everything clean there now, so we'll sit them down somewhere else and have a look through, make sure we haven't missed anything. Okay, so let's just study this and see. So we have gone through everything bar. We didn't take out this little valve here. He was in here. So he's in the bottom of the fork leg tube in there. He seems to be perfect. He's only a cone shaped lad anyway. The more the fork comes down, the more that goes into a hole in this lad here, and the more it just helps dampen, slow the oil, the movement of oil, and that helps then dampen things. So we've put on, there's our lower bush, there's our sleeve, upper bush, our 26, we're calling it a plain washer. There's an O-ring in there, we've replaced that, fork seal's good. We've got our seal, we've got our, what are they called there again, a plain washer, yeah, plain washer, yeah, 2 spring clips, abutment, and 19, they're calling it a cork washer. And there's our pinch bolts there. Okay, 38 is around. Did it give anything more? Cap bolt 1 7/16 in UH. Okay, 1 7/16. That is probably, I don't know, Whitworth 26, as I said, threads per inch, until later on when they went to 24, which is more UNF Imperial. Yeah, so I think we did well on the headstock here. We fitted our roller taper bearings, top and bottom. I was trying to see, it doesn't actually show the top one there, because it's actually, that's interesting, doesn't show the top. Anyway, we did that. Yeah, so it looks like we've done everything good. We have our cap bolts there as well. I think they're called cap bolts, are they? Cap nut. Yeah, nuts. We have 2 new ones of them. So that's good. It's all looking good. I marked this page as well with an old cap nut, because that's the tool that I got there from Classic Bike Spares, number 22, and that is coming in as a fork spanner for cap nut in brackets. But there's also another reg on it there, that's for something else. It's not for the seal holder. It's a pity they didn't put the seal holder on it. As you said, I had to make my own one. 17 could be the seal. C-spanner tappet key. Okay, no. I'm sure there's one there for the seal holders as well. 21 probably. Fork spanner for sleeve nut, yeah. So they're there. That was out of stock. But anyway, we were able to make do with the Hagen shock spanner, thankfully. So this is my uncle actually that put this parts manual together for me and laminated. So we're working with a T100C here. Earlier on in the series there we were looking at carburetors, so I'm kind of just basically going with what was in this, with the main jet being a 190, the needle jet being 106. That seems to be nearly in all of them. Needle being standard, that seems to be it as well. Throttle valve 3.5, so I replaced a 4 for a 3.5 and replaced a 170 for a 190 in the main jet. Pilot jet 25, I'm not aware of what is in it there at the moment, but we'll have to pull it out and see is it marked, and if it's not right, because I am having a bit of spitting and I have a feeling changing the pilot jet. I think, is that the screw? Gearbox sprocket 18 teeth. I think ours was actually 17, believe it or not, and it was Dad changed it to a 19, so it has longer legs now on it, thankfully. But that's just the spec that we're working with there. It's the beauty of laminating these. You can rub off the oil. Chains. I think our sprockets, front forks, each leg 200cc it's given roughly, so we have enough there too, so 200 millilitres. So we'll get that ready to fill, but we do have to now start thinking about putting these back in, and as was pointed out to me, you are going to be pushing again the tension in the spring. That's what's going to be awkward, so there is a chance that we're going to have to make up a tool to pull them in using that old fork cap nut. That is the only thing. But look, there has been bigger and more difficult jobs done in this shed in the past, and you can be sure there'll be harder ones in the future, so we will get over it. It'll probably involve, as I was kind of advised, cutting off all of the edges of this to have it same diameter or less, drilling it through, putting a length of threaded bar maybe through it, and actually using that to pull it. So we'll see, or I can get a neighbour to try and give me a hand pushing it up. Maybe that's the easiest, and then if failing that, we'll go and modify that, turn it into a pulling tool. So I'm just trying a trick that my dad told me to do, and that is to put a jubilee around it. I put this in the vise. I pushed down against the spring abutment. So I put it upside down in the vise and pushed down, and got that spring tensioned, pushed back a bit, got this jubilee on and tightened. There is a split in there, so I'm just after tapping in the screwdriver there, and I'm after making sure before I push it in that it's not gone right in and causing it to get caught. I do have an old cap nut on there just in this bit here, in the leg, or the ear I should say. It does have to come up more to come through there, and I obviously have to get it up another bit then as well to be able to get a few turns on it, of course, on the nut, to be able to, but it's really slow. So I'm just looking here as I'm rocking it, and it is, I can tell you, it is going a micromillimeter at a go. It's really, 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 really slow. But if you watch this, you'll see it is actually lifting. So hopefully then all I have to do is get it up a bit more and be able to take off that jubilee. Hopefully I'll have space to take off that jubilee clip. Yeah, so we're getting close enough there that I think we can probably line things up a little bit here. We do have to go another bit. That's the only thing I am going to say. But we'll leave that there, and when it hits it, it'll push it up. So some people say twist it. I don't know how in the name of God you can twist it, because it's only the forked leg that's twisted, it's not the stanchion. I find the rocking over and back is what seems to be bringing it up. But it's slow, but once it's moving, I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't want to push too hard, because what I'll end up doing is that jubilee clip will lose grip. So how are we looking here? Okay, we're starting to come into it. So when that thing starts lifting, we know we're nearly there. And I'm hoping that I've got this spring tension enough that it's going to give me enough space there. Now I'll lift it up a bit there. Enough space to take off the jubilee before the jubilee gets caught. We're getting close. And of course, it's not getting any looser, but the rocking is less each time. Now this is lifted, so I think we have it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put, I think I've got the wrong fork guide. It's not heavy enough, so it's no big deal. I can swap that. But what I am going to do before I forget, I was going to put in the oil now. I'm going to put on my new, I was going to say I'm going to put on my new nut, but I'm not. I'm going to put on the old one. I just want to hold it in place. So if that is in there and we still have space down here, will we have enough space there to pull this up to the end? That's the question. Without it hitting that, probably won't make a difference now that we have a few turns on it. No, probably, what to say, 3 or 4 turns. I've got a good few turns on that there now. So I'm going to give that a nip there with the monkey wrench. I thought this was going to be a lot harder. Now, to be honest with you, if I had another set of hands, someone to give me a hand, I would have got that jubilee down further. This was just meant to be a dry run. It wasn't really meant to be anything that was going to really work the first time. It was just to see if I could do it. It looks like I'm kind of winning there now. I think we're out of the danger zone now anyway. I'm surprised there's not a washer underneath this. It's just as well there isn't, I suppose, because we'd have to go rocking it, stanchion a bit more to get it up. But no, I think once I get the pinch bolts in anyway, we'll be safe. Now that seems to have got loose now, a bit loose, as if it started jumping up a good bit. So I think we're probably safe, and we're still going to be able to get in. Still going to be able to get in our socket to take off that. I'll try and get things down a little bit closer here. Take off the Jubilee. Now it's not probably after doing that poor cork washer massive favours. But look, and it probably isn't going to go doing much more favours as well when we go and try and pull it apart. Okay, yeah, it's probably not as right. Need to get that to come apart now, really, is what we have to do. Presume it's loose enough that I can do that. Okay, without making shit of it, please, Darren. Trying to pull the spring down and get this out. Okay, of course. Okay, and our washer is okay. Our spring is in. Oh, jeez, that's not good for the blood pressure. Wow, okay. So at this stage of the game, we're probably ready to put in our pinch bolt, but I'm just going to give that a quick rub of the Drama. There's a bit of black paint on it there. It'll pick off. Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was actually some corrosion, but it's only a bit of black paint. So that will clean up. Fingernail is scratching it off there anyway. So we'll try and line that up now. We are probably going to have to get our screwdriver out. Okay. In with our pinch bolt. Want to get a nut, and it should be a spring washer, I'd imagine. There isn't a spring washer, so it's a flat washer, but I'm going to just go and get spring when we'll come back. Okay, spring washer. Got good strong. Okay, nut going on, 9/16, give or take. Presume it's could be Whitford, could be Imperial. I forget what exactly. I think mostly your Imperial will work on these. Okay, there we go. No point in tightening it up too crazy. The ratchet spanner fit, it won't. That's the problem with these ratchet spanners. They're grand, but they are very wide. So you sometimes can't get in what you want to get in at. 9/16 socket has left the building. I'll find the 9/16 there and I'll come back. I don't think this has to be tightened up crazy tight just yet because we'll have to make final adjustments, but I just can't see the two good nut caps there at the moment. So at least I have the pinch bolt in. We'll be able to replace them without shooting down. I would hope we'll know fairly soon anyway when we try to loosen it. when we loosen the cap nut, which is exactly what we'll do now. Okay, so if our pinch bolt isn't tight enough, we'll feel tension on this, and this isn't coming up out of it, our pinch bolt isn't tight enough, basically. And it seems to be, that's all right. We probably have to do a little bit of tightening of the nut on the head stock there. This lad here. To keep this, because a bit of a gap there, it's probably meant to be, but let's see. Will that pull down a little bit for us? That is going to be the bearing adjustment. Roller tapers, it's going to go making them tighter. I just want to make sure I can loosen all that off again. I just want to make sure. Yeah, it still seems to be fairly, and our lock nut is loose. So I'd like to give these a good nip up. Make sure it'll just help close that gap there, I think, a little bit. Maybe it won't. Feels very, very, very good. No free play at all. My God. So yeah, it looks like our pinch bolt is doing the thing there now for us, doing the job for us. It's holding the whole show together. Right. I'm gonna give it another little nip. I know we still have our cap bolt in, but I will be replacing that. And I didn't really want to go using the new ones yet, when our pinch bolt will hold, hasn't worked out. Okay. I don't know how hard this will be to get on. Spring and buttoned. We'll have to. We haven't come off down there anyway. Okay. Probably we'll have to just pinch this a bit here first. Well, if we let it up first, I don't know. I said lads that are doing this all the time would know straight away how to do it. I probably think it's better off keeping it clipped down below, because it can be a whole hand and getting it back over, but in my case, it's through mistakes that I know to learn. Mind you, my first time putting on stanchions, I'm after winging it, beginner's luck maybe. Yeah, so maybe it's better off around there. But this is a small detail at this stage. Again, we're well greased up anyway, I can tell you. I don't think we need any more grease in there. I've basically used the best part of a full tub so far. But look, that's something I can mess at myself. I'm not fussed about that. The main thing is, it looks like we're after getting our stanchion in. We usually have to twist him a little bit to get the wheel in, if I'm not mistaken, and mess around with the mudguard. So it's great to be able to do that. My God, I tell you one thing, lads, without even fork oil in it, it feels brilliant. Yeah, so I'll have a play around with that, and we'll come back then when it's on. Okay, so I got the top on, but I think it's easier probably to get the bottom on afterwards. So I need to get it off this pliers now, because if I let go of the gaiter, it'll actually pull itself up and off. This was actually more difficult than the stanchion, getting the stanchion into the yeah, that caused a lot more sweat than the other work. But now, I think we're done. You can still move this in and out there to wherever it needs to be. The gator is well greased. So there we go. Are we right in saying that that is all okay so far, apart from the cap nut? I left them down somewhere and I will find them unless I put them in the box. But apart from that, they are here somewhere. We only have to swap that. Here they are on the actual bike. So we can just try and see with the monkey wrench if they will actually loosen off, if it'll loosen off without dropping again. I think we already tested that and we nipped them up against it. We'll just see again here what's happening. Imagine the whole lot pulls apart. Wouldn't that be some bloody... At least we know we can do it. No, we're safe. We're safe. I think I like to use a cloth on that because I don't want to damage the comb. Just get a rag over it. Let's give it a nip. Hold it nice and even. That'll do for now, just to keep us safe. So there, I surprised myself, I have to say. As if we can do one side, we can do the other. Brilliant. Okay, so what I want to show here is how I'm after getting the spring compressed and the stanchion pulled out and locked, so that I could fit it. So I didn't show this in the other one because I wasn't confident I was going to be able to do it myself. So I put in the nut cap, tie the rope around it, put a loop in for your boot. I took off the cork washer and I actually have used a bit of grease on it. I'm going to stick it to the headstock there, the yoke, rather than damaging it with the Jubilee. So at the Jubilee there, I have a 7mm socket in the screwdriver, and then I have a 1/4 inch ratchet ready to tighten that up. So when I push down, obviously that's compressing the spring, but to keep the stanchion pulled down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand in this, and that should keep the stanchion pulled down. And then my other free hand, I've got to try and tighten the Jubilee up, swap on the socket. Maybe I was better off having the socket ready first, and nip it, and then hopefully I can get my boot off of this. So there, that's all I do. That's all I did. And then we can screw off the cap nut. Take that off. That is all I'm after doing. So what I've realised now as well is all the greasing I did is way over the top. Way over the top, because, well, I suppose I didn't realise I'd be doing so much. I didn't realise exactly what was involved in this. So we need to clean that back because the grease is just too thick and it's going to stop it going into that headstock, I think it's called. I'm not good on that, the words, the terms that are used. I've heard a few of them. Some people in the States call them a triple tree. So what I've noticed is it slides in fairly handy up to this point here. So this is narrower and it's on a bit of a taper, I'd say, and then this is, you can feel it there, it gets thicker there all of a sudden. So that is what I'm after doing there. Now what I'm after doing over here is I give underneath there a clean with the Dremel. Make sure it's, I think I did already, but I just want to make sure it's good because there's a little bit of, it looks like paint and stuff in there. And it is no harm, I think, as well, because it can be corroded and stuff. It's getting a bit of sandpaper up there and just roughing it a little. Not roughing it, but make sure old grease or anything like that can go very hard. So a good clean up there, and then there's a split in it there, so tap in the good strong screwdriver, making sure that the head of it doesn't come out into the tube. That's the last thing that you're going to want. Let things down a little bit here. So I know this video is getting long, but that's good and wide. Right, so we'll come back now and we'll have a go at jiggling it into place. Before I forget, I'm going to put that on up here. I might stick with a bit of grease because the screwdriver is kind of in the way now. So we'll get that into place roughly there. Still could be a little bit in the way. Anyway, look, and it's sticking. It's now sticking. It's now sticking into the bottom there, so that's not good. So I'll have to take it out again. I'll just do that one more time. These are all the things you have to check. Okay, so go for a little bit more. It's a very strong bit of metal, thankfully. That does look, to me anyway, to be fairly spread at the bottom at least. So we'll get our fork, bring over the WD-40. We're going to have to just move back the camera here a bit so I can do my thing. Try and get the camera there to focus. You can see the cork washer. A little bit of spray. Okay, so turn it around so that the jubilee clip is facing towards me. So it flies in up to a certain point, and then it just gets really slow. But once it's moving at all, you're winning. Now, the question of course is it actually bloody moving? There is rock in it. Oh, holy God. And that's nearly at the top. Jeez, that's after going fierce handy. Holy God, that was quick. Huh? fact, the only thing that's stopping it now is the headstock is just a little bit in the way. I might have to loosen it and just move it, or move the ear. Yeah, that's all it wants. We're nearly there. So we've loads of space here. It's just going to be a matter of trying to keep that ear lined up with the headstock. Now, what we might do to make things a little more interesting is so you can see what's going on, is we'll lift up the camera. So there we are. You can just see it coming up there. That's awful. It's fairly handy so far. What I like about this way is as well putting the cork washer on first above the Jubilee clip, is you're keeping it safe. Lovely. So that is probably nearly ready for our nut. Nearly. It's only coming a couple of thou each time, but she's coming all the same. And there we are. There we go. We're safe. So just to give you a look at the Jubilee. That is it, and our cork washers safe and out of the way. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so this video is getting very close to the limit that you can have for uploading. So all I have to do is release and remove the Jubilee clip, and I have the Zener diode bracket back on that was painted, so we can fit the Zener diode back on and take off the cover on the headlamp, which worked well to keep everything tight in place. And we should be good to go then. Just nip up the pinch bolt there. So I'm going to leave it here. It's as good as done anyway, so hopefully it'll be a help to other people that are thinking of doing it.